everyone, and welcome to our live coding session for May 2024. Today, we're going to be building eye-popping search banners with pure CSS. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chuck Meyer. I'm a senior developer advocate from Algolia, and today I am joined by Luki Bonomi. This is Luki's first live coding session, so welcome, Luki.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and try my best to build something really eye-popping, as we say, and a beautiful banner with modern CSS techniques. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my introduction.
That's awesome. If you don't know Luki, he joined our developer advocate team. Wow, about I feel like at least 4 months ago, late last year, right?
Yeah, from November, December, I
Yeah,
started,
yeah.
and
And he's been hosting all sorts of meetups and fun things there in Paris around CSS, which is great because that's the topic today. But before we get into that, if you're not familiar with Algolia, we provide a set of hosted APIs that empower developers to quickly build search and discovery into your web in mobile applications, which is exactly what we're going to be doing today. A little bit of housekeeping. If you're in chat already, you probably already saw the message from Julie, but we are encouraging folks to jump into chat. We're going to try and kind of keep up with the chat as we go. Um, if you have a question for us, there's also a Q&A tab here in Zoom, and that should allow you to ask a question. That way we don't lose it in the chat. So if you have a question about anything that we're working on today, question about CSS, questions about Next, questions about TypeScript, can't guarantee we'll be able to answer those very well, but we'll do what we can. All right. So that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into some live coding. Luki, is it okay if I kind of show a couple things first before you show your stuff?
of course, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay. I'm not sure if anyone here has used the old school create instance search app. It's a script that you can run with NPX that actually kind of builds out a very simple demo. My understanding is it might be kind of an old school way of doing things. I might be behind the times. But what I like about it is it gives you kind of a nice, simple instance search interface. So hopefully you've seen something like this before. I can go in here and I can search for an iPhone. This is some pretty old, pretty old tech here. We're kind of doing throwback. So we got the old iPhone 6 there and things like that. But I wanted to show just a little bit about rules for folks that haven't used rules before. And rules are kind of a way to inject content into your search results. So you can use it for things like if you're having a sale on something, or you want to make sure that like the latest blog post is always presented regardless of search results. You can do things like that with rules. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I just kind of wanted to get folks oriented if you hadn't seen this before, because I'll be honest, I wasn't a big user of rules until very recently. So if you look at the code for this site, you can see I'm just doing vanilla JavaScript here. So we've got like our add widgets here at the top, and we've got kind of a bunch of different widgets already in here. We've got our search box and our results and everything like that. What I can do is I can add an additional widget here that is let's see, instant search widgets, query rule custom data. And this is a widget that actually allows you to inject data that comes out of a rule. And I'm going to show you a rule here in a second, but I kind of wanted to show you this first. So if you've used our vanilla JavaScript instance search before, you know, kind of the way it works is you say like, hey, this is where I want to inject my data. And then much like with search results and things, you can actually templatize this. So you can actually build a template, and you could put like a lot of really fun HTML or, you know, whatever you wanted in here. But I'm going to be very generic, and I'm just going to, let's see if this works. Oh, oh man, I'm pasting into the wrong window. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. I need to come over here and let's see if I can paste in here. Oh, that's the invent. That didn't work. We're live coding, Luki. It's already starting.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. So basically what I'm doing here is just injecting a little bit of you know, essentially mustache kind of style. Wow, why is that? Oh, I see what happened. Put that in there. Let's get this cleaned up. What did that say? It was something like 20% off. I know we had this like all, I'm going to say 20% off promo. Sorry, that's probably different than what you've got, but we're just going to do that. And let's see here. What that should allow you to do. What have I done?
Didn't you forget to close your p tag and why is there HTTPS after promo?
No, this is a mess. I'm just going to copy it in from the other one because this is not what I wanted at all. There we go. So we need one more here. No, wait, that's enough, right? We got enough there. Oh, that we need one to close out the whole template, right? There we go.
Yeah, I don't really use the vanilla one. I'm more of a React user.
And we're going to get into that. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of show both ways. I think this doesn't seem particularly happy, but let me see. Yeah, no, I've got something off there. Hang on a sec.
I think you have a bracket.
Extra bracket.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Hang on. I think I need what I forgot to do is you have to do this. This is the problem. Got a back ticket there. Okay, and then we've got that whole thing like that. And then I can take this one off. And then
Yes.
I close my back tick.
And a
And
comma.
then I close like that. And I
And
think
add
we're
yeah, a
comma
comma
there.
after the line
Yeah,
23.
there we go.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, cool. So anyway, so basically what we've done here is we've gone ahead and said, hey, you're going to get some data, and this is instance search kind of doing its magic. You're going to get some data from a rule. If you get that data, go ahead and inject it here into this banner position within the site. I've still got something wrong. What have I done wrong now? Let's see here. Just grab the whole thing. See, I'm just going to make you look good later. It's going to be awesome. We're going to grab this whole thing. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. See if that works. No, that's not it. I grabbed the wrong one. Man, I'm kind of a wreck today. Let's see here.
It's fine.
That's the one. Okay, so pretend like I know JavaScript and wow, I typed all this. Look at that. So banner, same thing. I still don't know what I missed there. Can't tell what's different. I think a comma somewhere.
Yeah, probably. And you have a double search box declaration.
Oh, because I pasted that into. We don't need two of those. Okay, cool. So we're getting this query rule custom data and it's coming in and we're going to pull in this promo content. And if we go over and we look in the Algolia side, you can see here I'm in my e-commerce index. I'm in this rules section and I've set up this rule for the word iPod because we're old school and we're going to be talking about iPods. And this is where I actually define this promo content. And if I go in and look at it, you can see it's literally just a JSON file. And I can put whatever the heck I want in here. Promo content, 20% off all iPod shuffles. Very exciting. And so the cool thing here is the way rules work is it's condition and consequence, right? So if this, then that. So what we're doing is we're just looking at the query string. We could look at filters. We could look at all sorts of different things. And then it's saying, hey, inject this into that query data piece that we can then pick up using our lovely rule custom data from instance search. And if I've done all of this right, when I type iPod in here, it's not working. Oh well. Uh, why are we not working? Oh, did I not save? Maybe I didn't save. Let's see. Refresh. iPod. There we go. Need to refresh. So
Yay.
now, so now you can see this is like the most basic version of a banner. And so the cool thing about this is like now that this is coded, um, my I don't have to worry about this again. If the promo changes, someone can just come in through the dashboard, change this data, right? It's like, hey, we're taking too much off. Let's make it 10 or we've got too many iPods. Let's make it 30% off. Then I should be able to get a refresh here. 30% off. There we go. So
Nice.
there we go. We've now made a beautiful banner in our search results, right? That's pretty, isn't it?
No, it's not really pretty, but that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So if you're okay, I'm gonna share my screen and show how we can do the same thing with React and TypeScript and Next.js, and with a little bit more of CSS to make it a little better. So um, oh. So first of all, I used npx and I created a new Next app that
Yeah.
I called Live Coding CSS Banner Prod, which is what we want. I removed all the code inside. You see, it's running on local host right now. I've created my rule, which is the same as yours, but I added a title and a description, which is the same as yours in our instance DX. Also note that you might see a search API key, which is a protected one. We're going to remove it at the end of this live coding. So you can use it to search, but it won't work after live coding. So it's totally
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Um,
And search keys, I mean, those tend to be in your front end anyway, so you don't have to like super protect them, but you do just have to be aware, especially if you do it on a YouTube video, that people will try and hit, and you might get a bunch of API calls. So just be thoughtful of
yeah.
that.
So yeah, as I told you, I just removed everything. I put on just the Algolia logo as SVG, as we can see here. Then what's cool is that I can go on instance search templates, and I will just pick the React instance search from Code Sandbox. Then from here, I can watch into the where is it, package.json, and I will just need these two packages, Algolia
Mm.
search and React instance search. So I'm gonna add them right now
So,
here.
and real quick, I saw that Bobo, I saw you kind of asking about the promo content. I think you saw it too, but yeah, you're right. The promo content's actually getting injected from the rule. So I think you kind of caught that after a little bit. But yeah, that's exactly what was happening.
I added both of my dependencies, which is literally what we want. Up. Now I'm going into the app. I will pick everything from here. Oopla. Actually, everything. Yeah, I'm gonna use everything. Oops. From there to there, and I'm just going to use this. Remove the home one. Up. And now panel. I'm gonna pick the panel here. I'm gonna create a new panel.
So panels are really just kind of containers, right? For kind of the different components.
Yeah, I'm just picking the same thing they put on Code Sandbox. Don't know
Right.
why it's complaining right now.
Live coding's always fun. It's so funny. I feel like it's like typing. You feel like you're a pretty good typist until someone's watching you type, and then all of a sudden everything kind of
Yeah,
goes away like
I
that.
missed the app CSS because here it's called global. Up. Okay.
And one thing that you might notice is like I feel like and this is just me being old, and you've been around a while too, Licky. Like I feel like panel used to be a component that we provided as part of instance search, but we kind of now you sort of kind of have to build your own panel to contain things in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So that's one change that happened with the most recent version of the Next libraries.
up. So I'm gonna use this, and this is because it's actually SSR. code. Right now, I'm just gonna use client to allow
Oh yeah.
client side code to be compiled. Oh. Default export. Yeah,
And
the joy of live coding.
yeah. And I know that's a big debate, you know, client side versus server side, especially in the next world. We tend to like kind of our JavaScript running on the client side because it's a lot faster, honestly, if you've got like this the real-time search that's happening. Those API calls are going directly from the client to one of our API endpoints rather than kind of having to come up through the server. There's potential for bottlenecking, et cetera. So historically, we've been very pro client-side development. You can absolutely use Algolia server side, but we'll always be sort of opinionated towards the client.
So as you can see here, I have like my whole Algolia loaded. It lacks of
Oh yeah.
styles because I haven't used the proper styles that I'm gonna
Mm.
use here. Probably already pasted them. Hope I'm gonna replace everything. It's gonna look a little better now, but still not exactly what we want because
Yeah, that looks a lot like mine.
yeah, but I'm gonna use this external style sheet.
Okay.
That is actually it's actually the satellite UI library of
Mhm.
Algolia to style the main Algolia experiences dashboard. So here I'm going to use head. No, uh, do, do I need head? I don't need head. I don't need that head. I, I need not the components, but that head.
There we go.
And now, if everything was properly made, yeah, I have the same style as in this small code sandbox. So now
Cool.
we have the basic thing running.
Mhm.
I just need to use my proper search client that's here actually on the side. Oops, where are you? Here.
And that satellite, it's opinionated. It gives you kind of a nice clean start. That's the same kind of UI that I was using, except with the yellow top piece. And you can override those. So like if you're just doing basic style changes, you can start with satellite and kind of, you know, build on top of it. But I think Luki's going to do something a little cooler and a little more radical here.
Yes. So here it was complaining because I was hitting another search client, which was our
Mm,
DX public apps, but the index I was targeting was not the right one. And now if
mm,
I type iPod, I have nothing showing up because I didn't implement the banner yet.
right.
But I could go, I could show you something more. Now what I will do is that I will just externalize this bit and call it render hits. So that then I can use a use effect within that component, and it needs to be within the instance search. So I really need to outsource it. Render it's yeah, I'm using Copilot because it's way faster for me to type, and
Oh,
we
heck
don't
yeah.
have that much time. So we want
Copilot
this.
is your best friend when you're doing live coding, that's for sure.
Oops.
Especially if you're kind of building code that you've built before, where you, if it starts hallucinating, you're kind of well aware that it's happening.
And so here there will be the banner. So now up render hits still have or hits. Why do you complain? Index not allowed with this API key, but it is. But it is instant search DX. It's hallucinating. Hold on. Yeah, it was. I don't know why it wasn't working. Okay, so we have our its. Proof is I can write here h1 it's boom. So it's not complaining anymore. It was probably a refresh thing. Okay, so now we have the basic thing. We will need to get our rules. So to get the rules, we will create here a use effect.
And so what you might notice is that when I was using the vanilla JavaScript, I was kind of cheating because in vanilla JavaScript, there's actually a widget that actually extracts this data for you. In the next universe, you kind of have to use the hooks and build it a little bit yourself, which is, I think, what Luki's doing here.
Yes. So now every time I get the it's gonna trigger the use effect. So I can console another, yeah, another object. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna close this because it's really annoying. All right. So now, whenever I will perform a query, you can see that I have my it's, and here's in the results, you have something called is it here? No, because I haven't typed in iPod.
Boom.
And here I should have something called user data. Boom.
Haha.
Summer sale, 20% off on all iPod shoppers. So it's literally the same as you wrote. But what I want to do now, and bear with me, I'm not like a 10 times 10x developer. I'm doing something like for the demo purpose. If you want to do it like in production, you know better than I do. So we'll create a state called user data and set user data. We'll import the state, the use state.
So this is all just coming in the response to the search API call. So much like, you can get, if you've ever done like event processing and you want to grab that query ID, this is very similar, except this is data that's getting injected by these rules.
What I'm going to create type. Hits, no. User data. Title. What
Loves driving. Sorry.
Yeah. So that way, it's not going to complain here. User data. Okay. So for now, it's
Cool.
either null or it can be a title or description. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now what we're going to do is that if, oops, nice. If it's results user data equals undefined, we will return nothing. And also we will do set user data as null and else, boom, except that it's 0. And then we will log it. So I'm logging the state.
Got it.
Now, see, so it's actually pretty fast. It's already got logged. So if I type, I don't know, iPhone, you know what? I'm gonna remove all my logs. If I type in iPhone, and you can see that actually Algolia, if you do an error, it still highlight the result. That's
Typo
one of our,
tolerance, baby. Nice.
key feature. So it doesn't show anything in the logs, but if I type in iPod, boom, I do actually have my user data logged.
Mm-hmm.
And actually I did a typo, but it got that I meant iPod. Okay, now what we're gonna do first, I just want to show you actually the DOM that I'm gonna use. That's a pretty basic banner. So we're gonna have a div for the banner outer, a div for the banner inner, the content, and you will understand why later. All this DOM, I guess you can do it with less DOM, but I'm gonna do it with that much DOM because I decided to. Boom. So the class, it's actually class names because React class name. Boom. So now if I go back to my app, we have this beautiful banner that's look kind of like yours.
Yeah.
And we probably don't want an H1 because it's not a important heading, probably an H3 that we want. And we will show it every time. So I'm just gonna do, user data, boom. at the end of our experiment, we're gonna enable this back. But for now, I'm gonna hide it because otherwise I won't be able to design the banner.
Mm.
But if I keep the code I just wrote, type iPhone, it's not showing, iPod, it's showing. Okay. But we want to see it all the time. Oops. So now that we have this ready, let's start designing the banner.
Love it.
Actually, what I want for this demo, and I have a little bit of code on the side, is to change the background color of the body. Oops. So here you can see that I'm using a display P3 color. I'm gonna talk about it later on because I just want to have like my groundwork ready. So boom, it should turn blue. Yeah.
Nice.
Then I want the color to be white so that we can see actually what's up. But in my hits right here, I want the color to be black again because otherwise we don't see anything. All right. I just changed the color of the background because I wanted my banner to be like dark themed, which looked better for what I want to do. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about P3 colors right now because so that's done. Nowadays, computer screens and other screens, they're able to show a much broader range of colors than the one we use normally with like hexadecimal colors or other color syntax like HSL or RGB. And whatever, everything you can see after the lines is actually the P3 color space. When P3, like you can see here, the colors are more vibrant compared to sRGB ones. And you can actually test against this. So going back to my CSS, I can actually do this. Add supports. Oops. Background color. Oops. P. What's the syntax? Display P3. Boom. And if it doesn't support the color, you can put background color red, for example. But because my, oops, sorry, it's the cascade. Or I can use supports not.
Oh, because you put it underneath it and inherited it.
Yeah,
right top of
it's exactly.
The C in
and
CSS.
You see exactly here. So let's do it full CSS F00 because my computer supports the P3 color space. It shows the first one. So this is, I guess, P3 display P3 color gamut is known as part of like modern CSS techniques. But for now, I will not talk more about it. Let's close this. Okay,
but
so
even there, just changing the colors like that, it already starting to feel more modern. It's amazing how much a color scheme can change it.
Yeah, but you'll see what else we can do. Okay, so I like to scope better, to separate my CSS to avoid like cluttering a file too much. So I'm going to create banner CSS. Boom. And here we'll write the CSS for the banner. So let me get back to my small up. We'll get the classes here. So I'm writing CSS because I love writing CSS. Just to be clear, you could use a Tailwind. You could use something else, but that's not the point of this live coding. And I like genuinely love writing CSS.
So for folks that don't follow Luki on Twitter, he has this habit of like finding interesting things that people have built on the web and trying to recreate them in CSS. It's really cool.
Yeah, I used to. So no, I want to do this by hand. I need to find more time to do it again. But yeah, I might I will do it again.
Yeah, but if you go
So
look at his
just
profile, you can find some cool stuff he's built in the past for sure.
so just so that we can see our banner. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to import the CSS. And Chuck, if there's question for me in the chat, feel free to let me know because I'm not reading
Yeah.
the chat right now.
Yeah, no problem. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. We're all just chit-chatting about iPods for the most part and how funny that is. But Julie did post your Twitter/X handle there if people want to go check out
Oops.
Lukey on Twitter/X. But if you do have any questions, Lukey really he's pretty deep on the CSS. He can, I know we've talked a little bit about P3 color. We're going to be getting into some, uh,
Actually, I want to show you something that's also part of like new best practice.
mhm,
Margin bottom, margin top, left. It's like part of the old CSS world. So I'm just gonna remove this from the search box.
mhm.
Oops, my keyboard just got disconnected, but it's fine. It's connected back.
Yay. Welcome back,
So
keyboard.
I'm just gonna this. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, perfect. So I'm removing this because I don't need it, and now you can see that everything is stuck.
Oh yeah.
But if I go on here and I type in margin block, so block starts equivalent to a margin top and block end margin bottom.
Mm.
Just that it's much better. It's a better way to represent like the way we build the web now. It's inline and block, and so margin block it's from top to bottom, or it's the vertical axis, while margin inline is the horizontal axis. So if I type in this, boom, I have one
Oh, nice.
REM on both sides.
Cool.
I'm
Bobo was
going
saying
to
that the at supports is a pretty cool thing you were showing earlier too, to be able to figure out what things are
yes.
supported in a browser.
The inner will do padding.
And I
Actually,
apologize.
you
I'm
know
not sure if
what?
it's Bobo or Boo Boo. If you can give me the phonetic spelling of it, I'll say it properly next time, I promise.
Boom, padding inline, and we could actually have padding block. But that equivalents to just writing padding 1em. So, but I just want my padding inline to be 1em. Okay, perfect. So now we have our banner.
Nice.
We have our banner. We want our banner to look a little better, don't we?
Better, better.
So a better banner. So
Oh, hey,
we'll
Justin.
do
I didn't know you were
border
in.
radius uh 16 pixels. No, actually we'll do 32 pixels because oh no, actually we'll do 16 pixels. It's much better. And it's probably too much, but for the sake of this demo, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Now,
We should warn when we say eye popping, we definitely mean eye popping. You'll see.
yeah, don't worry. So now, because I wrote a bit of code on the side, actually, I wanted to show you something else.
Yeah.
This is literally valid CSS. Nowadays, you can nest your CSS and it's pure CSS.
Whoa.
There's no SAS, no preprocessors.
Yeah.
Uh, there used to like we used to have to write it like this. I'm not sure any longer,
Uh-huh.
but I just did some tests and like this is totally valid nowadays. And you can actually put the ampersand after
Hmm.
to do a parent selector. But I won't need this for my demo. So
Mm.
let's remove this red one. Boom. Okay. So now
That's
let's start
cool.
the interesting part.
And Justin says that you got to be on a pretty modern version of iOS to get that. But other than that, it works pretty well.
Yes. So most of the thing I'm going to show you right now, it's like when we say modern CSS, it's for like um, updated version, like evergreen version of browsers.
Yeah.
I have a good news for you for a feature I'm going to show you a little later. It's the add property one, but let's keep on working on this.
Sounds good. While you're typing,
So
Felix says
before
nesting without using preprocessors is amazing. So you're making some people's day by showing some of this stuff.
boom, display block. Oops. I want this to be relative. And I want this to be absolute. Oops. Position, absolute. width 100%, height 100%, just to make sure. Yeah, why not? All right, but we won't use this. I mean, we could, but we won't use this. Okay, banner inner. Oh, this set index 1 and banner inner. So that we can actually see what we want to. So here's the interesting part. Here I'm gonna use something called the custom properties. That property. Oops. So right now I'm defining, and I'm not the best at explaining what you're gonna see, but add property is a way to define a new to define CSS variables. You can see that it's actually typed. Like every CSS variable is getting back to TypeScript, everything is typed. For example, if for position I type a number, it will do nothing, and your IDE or console logs might complain because it expects a string value. CSS is exactly the same. So for this one, I could use angle, but I rather do it with calc and everything. So I just define a variable called rotation. Its syntax, its type is a number. It does not inherit, and its initial value is 0. It could actually inherit. To be totally honest with you, I don't know what like the inheritance. I never use the inheritance features with custom properties, and this is from today or yesterday, also available in Firefox, which is a big
Nice.
But I'm gonna explain you what it's used for. So now we'll create a keyframe. We'll call it rotate, and we'll make it go from not this rotation.
Hard word to type.
0 to rotation 360. All right. Now I'm going to do animation rotates. Nope. Rotate. 10-second linear infinite. Perfect. And now the magic happens. So you might know that before, or actually you can still do it. You can do transforms like this. Let's scale it by 5. It's going to be really big. So let's scale it by 3. It's better. Okay. And I want it to stay within its barriers. I can scale it like this, but you can also use standalone property and use rotation. And what's going to happen now? That's not happening. Oh, yeah, because it's a number and you need to calculate by a degree. Now it's going to rotate. And actually, you can only do this if you define the property. If I remove this bit, it won't work. And that's pretty cool because it allows you to like really fine tune your UIs. Feel free to go check my CodePen account. I have some demos that heavily use these property declarations. And that's the moment you realize that CSS is actually a real programming language because it's a interface programming language. So I'm adding this back. Okay, but this is ugly. We agree that this is ugly. So we're gonna use the funny gradients.
Feels like something that would show before like a television special in the 1970s.
Yeah, but now we're in 2024. So we're gonna use a conic gradient. So you know what? For now, let's stop the rotation and let's add back the semicolon. Okay. So what we can do is here, we're going to do calc var rotation by 1 degree. And now it should start turning. Okay, but it's still ugly. So what we want now is to have the banner inner to be maybe the same color as the background, or probably a bit lighter. Let me pick my background color here. And I will expand and color mix if we have time. So banner inner background. Boom. Okay. Was it my banner? Oh yeah, no, because it was a color mix, which is it's totally fine because I want my banner to like stand out a little more.
Yeah.
But my banner inner, I want it to be with 100%, 800%. Oh, I'm gonna remove that padding. Do I have a padding somewhere? Actually, I know why. It's because I want it absolute. Boom. Nice. And I want this to have a real size. Width 100%. Haze 200 pixels, maybe? No, it's way too much. It's still way too much. So 100 pixels is good.
That looks good.
But now we don't see our super moving background any longer. So I'm just gonna remove the border, and we're going to simulate the border. So let's say we want a big border, like a big beautiful border. So we will outset this from 2 pixels, and from the left 2 pixels. Boom. Okay.
Whoa.
And then we will remove 2 pixels from each side. So 4 pixels. Thank you, Copilot understood. But now it's still ugly because with 8, because we lack the border radius. So I said border radius 16. So I think it should be 18 inside to look better. No, it's less. It should be 2 pixels less. Boom. And there's still something that I don't like, and I guess it's because it's not, the box model is not good enough before after.
Yep, we're saying box sizing border box. Yep.
Voila, now we see it. So what's even more interesting with this new CSS? Actually, you know what? I find it like too thick. I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna make it like 1 pixel only because it's classier. Boom. So yeah, now it's classier. And actually, I'm gonna do the same. I don't really have the mass any longer, but like the nested border radius. So what if we want this banner to change color? Well, it's pretty easy. We're gonna go here. Let's say HSL. So H goes for U. We're gonna do var, rotation. Boom. And now it's gonna follow the, wait. It's, yeah. Well, no, it's gonna be really classy. I'm just gonna remove this because I cannot see what's inside.
While Loki's kind of polishing up the edges, Julie did mention on chat that this is going to be recorded and it will be up on YouTube. So hello, if you're watching this on YouTube, come see the next one live. You can find out all about it on our Algolia events page.
So this is actually like, you can see that the color is rotating as well.
Oh, wow, yeah.
The first value of a HSL color, the H stands for U. And here we are using our custom syntax, the register property, the custom variable. We can actually speed this up if we do, for example, calc by 5. It's gonna get crazy. Boom.
Oh, wow.
And now we redisplay this.
I feel like we're getting into the dancing parrot territory at this point. Pretty parrot.
So now let's get back to what interests us, aka the actual curl.
Oh yeah,
So, well, I was too carried away by typing CSS. So
it looks so beautiful. I forgot that we don't have our message in there yet.
yeah, beautiful. I don't know, but just to show a little of good CSS. Now we're gonna do use. Oops.
Is this are folks following around along? It seems like we've got a lot of like people that are really kind of keeping up with you. If honestly, like I'm not a huge CSS person myself. So I remember you showing me there was something that changed about the way those properties worked, right? Wasn't there a thing where you used to have to kind of they were like all glommed together and then eventually they like kind of broke them out into individual like the rotation and things like that.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But I shown this, didn't I? I
You
did.
probably did. Again, like I'm trying to keep up
So
with you, Luki. You're going so
yeah, here I we can rotate it. I think it's the
oh,
whole
that's what it
banner.
was.
The
It was the double dash
wow.
there. Okay.
And
Oh
actually,
wow.
like
Look at that.
yeah, because I'm rotating,
So it's like
and you can actually make it rotate like
multiple
anti-clockwise.
axes. Yeah. Multiple
So
axes.
I'm rotating the box at the same time, like the well, now it's gonna show only on one side because it's
Yeah.
rotating against itself.
Right, right.
But if I do -2 degrees, it's gonna rotate. Well, but
It's
that's
got
that's
it's
not
got
really.
two axes. That's it almost looks like radar at this point. That's funny.
But you can make it time x. Okay, boom, and now it's anti-rotating.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so this is the standalone properties. We
Yeah.
won't use them. Uh, Honestly, you know what? I find my banner to be quite ugly, so I'm gonna keep the color mix. So color mix is also really interesting. It allows you to mix colors, as the name suggests. And I have the small documentation here. First, you have to define the color space you want your color to end up.
Mhm.
So LCH, sRGB, HSL. So don't ask me about color space. It's a whole new world. It's really a deep dive if you're interested. Like it's really a deep dive into the world of color. I'm like I think Evil Martians, they wrote a good blog post about it. Evil Martians color spaces. Uh,
Mm.
and honestly, their article is amazing, but they say themselves that it's a complex word, so I'm not gonna go too much into color spaces. Just know that for color mix, you have to define your color space. sRGB, longer U, smaller U. We can do another live coding about CSS if you're interested. But yeah, so color mix, literally you mix two colors. So I'm gonna use this color mix. Oops. And
Cool.
I'm gonna use it where is my color? In the banner inner, sorry. Boom. So we'll
Yeah,
keep the
don't be
same
afraid to
as the
ask
background.
questions. I'm barely holding on myself here.
And now, like the effect is much more appreciable because,
Oh wow.
and you know what? We're gonna make it darker. So why not? At least we can see the banner.
Oh yeah.
Boom. And so if I remove iPod, actually, it was probably better with the margin button. But yeah, so that's a nice banner. We can also duplicate this and say linear gradient to bottom right, up, 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 and make it less dark so that we have a gradient now. Or we can actually, you know what, make it lighter,
Oh yeah.
even lighter. Boom. Uh, and looks like it's carved into the page. I'm not sure
Yeah.
that's what we want, but yeah,
Feels like
the
laser
beauty,
etching.
yeah, the beauty of it is not really what I'm aiming for. I mean, I just wanted to show like some good CSS, and it's actually eye-popping. I mean, I hope that for you it is. I always love playing with CSS values like this and seeing what I can do. I wanted to show you something else if we have time. So banner
Yeah,
content.
we still got 8 minutes.
Okay, so let's nest it a little more. We're gonna make this a grid.
Okay.
We're gonna make a grid template columns from 1 fraction and 4 fractions. Nice. And then
Shuffles.
we're gonna make banner logo. No, we don't want that. Banner content. It is, I think. Great.
People are begging
Columns
you
are.
for a GitHub repo on this one, Lukey. Can we?
You know what? It's actually hosted like for only for the banner. It's on my CodePen. I can make it public at some point.
Okay, cool. Is
Grid
CodePen
column
okay?
start. 3. No, we want 1. So we wanted 2. Okay. Actually, you know what? We're gonna edit that rule because we want more text to fill.
Great. Okay, and we'll put a link to the CodePen in the description on YouTube too when this goes up.
You know what? We're pretty generous.
Oh, we are so generous. Wow, look at that.
Okay.
Oh, just to
It was just to
just to
fill
show
in
how it
the,
wraps.
the space. It's probably like we're probably too generous right now. It's probably gonna break, but it's
Look at that.
okay. You
Yeah.
know what? I'm gonna just add like 140.
Oh,
Boom.
because we're not
It's
padding on the right
better.
side at all, are we?
I wanted to show you something even more awesome with CSS, which is a keyword that I discovered more or less recently, but I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Display grid template column. Oh yeah. Place items. Enter. Yes. Well, I wanted it to be like vertically centered.
Hmm.
So now we have some space on the left.
Mhm.
I only used the pseudo element before. Now I'm going to use the pseudo element after. Something I really like doing, actually, like to save some space, is to do before, after. Oops. What
Whoa,
did I do? What did I do?
I think you
Bam.
accidentally hit a hotkey to a different tab.
Yeah. Oops.
So we've had a request that the next live coding session is just 4 hours of Lukey writing CSS. You've
That's
hypnotized them and enchanted them.
that's definitely possible.
So, and for folks, I'm just going to do this real quick while Lukey's coding there. It seems like we've got a lot of French language folks in the chat. We actually, well, Lukey primarily, but hosted a design night. I don't know what you called it. Was it a meetup or a design?
Paris Design Meetup,
Yeah,
yes.
the
I'm
Paris
just gonna
Design
fetch
Meetup.
some colors.
Yeah, no problem. So we hosted a Paris Design Meetup in the Paris office. We're going to do it again if you live in Paris, but if you don't, all of those videos just hit YouTube last week. And I think we're kind of slowly going through them up on the Algolia, the @Algolia Twitter feed. You can get to the videos, or you can just go to Algolia on YouTube to find them as well. They are in French. They do have English subtitles though, so folks like myself can follow along as well. But lots of really kind of fun design content there as well, if that's your
Yes.
thing.
Is that absolute? It should be absolute. Why isn't it showing up? Okay, you know what? I think
When are
I
you coming
shouldn't
to
have done
Paris?
that.
Oh, Lukey is in Paris. That's where he is based. So
Yes, I am. Okay.
yep, we do
So,
all sorts of meetups at the
oh,
Paris office.
that was actually beautiful.
Whoa,
Yes.
was that
All
intentional?
right.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just changed the display P3 color values. So what I wanted to show you, one of the last thing in the 4 minutes we have, is actually there's this nice keyword. So you could actually write a big number like this to make a circle, because circles are cool. It's probably too big. Let's divide it by 2, just because we can. I could have just written 60 pixels, but actually 1.5. What I wanted to show you is that instead of writing this, there is something called the calc constants, which means that calc, the function calc here, can take a constant. For example, infinity. Infinity. Boom.
There it is.
And now it doesn't work
Do you
because
actually
it's
have
probably
do you have to put the calc dash constant in there, or is it can you just use calc?
I think I wrote it like a pork, maybe infinity, but
Oh,
wait, it should work. Why isn't it working? So I'm gonna need iPod. It should be infinity. There's actually some better. You can use pi or NAM or E. So I'm not really a math head, so I cannot really tell you like what they do, but like for a radius infinity, you know what?
calc.
Yeah, because I totally forgot like the
Ah,
unit value.
there it
And
is.
now you can see, oh, for the radius, calc infinity by 1 pixel.
Nice.
So infinity is to use with a big, with a lot of care, for the simple reason that imagine you're loading a third-party module on
Oh,
your website, and they
yeah.
want like the chat bot to be always on top. They can infinity the shit out of it. So sorry, excuse my language.
We're not
They
on
can
broadcast. It's okay.
okay, they can like use infinity like to the maximum, and so you will have to do infinity plus one to combat this, which clearly doesn't work
Yeah. Yeah. No, then it becomes
because I
this
need another key.
arms race. No, 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 no.
Yeah. And then what we want, I could place it better. No, I'm just gonna place it manually, left 40, 40, just because I
Cool.
can, or do 30,
Oh, Lukey, we've got to do
30.
one of these sessions. These are fun. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's actually really fun. And CSS, like there's a lot of things that I didn't have time to cover.
Yeah.
We covered the main idea.
Hey,
Actually,
can we
we
show
should
them
have.
one? Can we show them one thing that's cool? I don't know if we have time for this or not, but I was wondering, can we copy that rule and show them how you can use the same banner for a different keyword and just have different text in it?
Yeah,
Do you think that
sure.
would work?
Of course. I just want to try something first. Bam, bam. After,
We promise not to go too long, Julie. I know Julie, our producer, is reminding us that we got to stop soon. Wow, that's
if you
cool.
invert the color, it's cool as well. So yeah, here you could imagine having like your logo. If I had more time, I would have used the show you how you can encode SVG within a CSS background right away
Hmm.
with animations directly within the SVG background encoded.
Oh,
But
cool.
that's for another time.
Yeah, we'll save
So
that one. Um,
let's use,
oh,
for
there's a
example,
question
this
in
one.
Q&A. Is it possible to use Tailwind CSS or other CSS libraries? Of course you
For
can.
this,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
absolutely.
So maybe not for a modern CSS, like for example, color mix. I'm not sure it's part of Tailwind. Display P3, I'm not sure as well, but
Yeah.
you can do, for
But
example, you can do this.
that's the whole point of the cascading too, though. You could always use the sort of the primitives within Tailwind and then you can build on top of them. That's the beauty of it.
Yes, but you could imagine having like, for example, where can I do it? Here? H1, let's try this, blah, blah. And here you could have last name. What's the background? Is it background? Wait, I never remember the, yeah, BG. And you could actually use the brackets to have like custom colors. And now if I go back to my app, it's clearly not working. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Wait, 0.5. It's not working. So I'm not sure they're able to parse this. No, they're not able, because here if I was writing red, isn't BG even the keyword? No, it's not BG. It's probably background. Uh, Wait, 1 second. I have actually to go there. background color. Yeah, it's BG. I have no idea why it's not working. Oh, maybe because it's not a block. But it should work anyway.
Hey, Lukey, can you refresh? Can you refresh on the
Yeah.
on the app? Can you type Lukey in? Oh, is it not? It's not picking up the. So there, that's us.
That's pretty cool.
So I just
Thank you.
added a new rule that just picked up on the word Lukey, and you can see like you didn't have to write any more code. You can have as many of these as you want for different keywords. I just wanted to show that before we kind of send ourselves off for the day. But yeah, if you want to try and debug that last little piece, we can. But other than that, we're gonna say
No,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
fine. It was just to show the person. No, honestly, I have no idea why it's not working here, but that was not the point. But you could use Tailwind for most of the things I showed. Probably not the advanced CSS like the display P3, the infinity, or the standalone
The animation.
properties like
Yeah.
transform. But yeah, that's how you will create color
Eye
popping
popping. Yeah.
CSS banner, which I had the pleasure to show you today. And yes, I can definitely host this on a GitHub repo so that you can see how you can play around with it. And don't forget custom properties, and it's really awesome. I had a lot of stuff like to show you, but like we didn't have the time. But there's everything on MDN. Feel free to check it. Like it's really a whole new CSS world that's opening for you, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
And don't hesitate to hit me up on Twitter. I will answer all your questions if you have any. And yes, I will be happy to go more in depth with you.
Awesome.
Like,
Thank you so much, Lukey. And if you're new to the rules side of the world, do go to the Algolia docs and do a search for adding banners. And there's a great walkthrough that's a version of what I corrupted and did poorly at the beginning of this, but you can find out how to do the basic sides of it. And then you can start layering in all this amazing CSS that Lukey does. Thank you all for coming today and hanging out with us. Obviously, this is not the last time you'll be seeing Lukey on the live feed. We've got tons of stuff to show you. Come to Algolia events if you want to see when the next live feed is. Come to our Discord server if you want to hang out with us. You can find the link to the Discord on our main page. We'd love to see you there on X. But we got to go now before we just got to go. Take care.
yeah,
everybody.
okay. I'm just doing some promo of my code pants to show
Yeah.
everything we can do with like crazy CSS values. Thank you everyone for following along, and see you soon.
Bye.